Administration Complaints Department may I help you.
Code Enforcement Office is basically a subdivision of the Office of Community Development, and we're tasked with enforcing all the local ordinances and codes that are on the books for parish government. Basically, we receive complaints from the public or from elected officials, and they go through a complaints department and they're logged in. And the complaints vary. The most common complaints we get are high grass, property maintenance issues, blighted properties, abandoned vehicles. It makes up the majority of those complaints. And those complaints come in, they're logged, and then they're assigned to inspectors via our software system, and they're tracked from there.
All right, this vehicle is blocking the sidewalk, and it enables handicapped people, someone in a wheelchair coming down the sidewalk is going to have to come down over the curb into the street, which is dangerous. They could flip it and whatever, you know. This is a notice that's giving them, 36 hours to move it and take care of it. Or if it's not moved, then, the parish will hire a contract the tow company to come move it, and they'll have to retrieve it from their yard.
Our inspectors are proactive. If they're out in the field and they see something that's not on their work order sheet, that's glaring, we will come back and cite those properties accordingly.
All right, today we're going to start off. I have a re-inspection on a house that was actually cited for a PMC, which is a property maintenance contract. We're going to just check it out to see, if there's any action been taken on it, then we're going to go from there. This is going to be it right here on the left, and it don't look like much was done. And we're going to do a little survey of the property.
Our inspectors, per ordinance, does have the authority to access properties to inspect. So if you see an inspector out, we will always have an ID badge, and he will be in a marked vehicle so that there's no questions as to who he is and why he's there.
Yeah, there's been no action here, so we're going to walk around the side and get into the back.
Now, ultimately, our first goal is to try to, if we can touch base with someone without being official, with a piece of paper, whether it be a knock on the door or a phone call, we try to do that so that we can, avoid the long process. And a lot of times we get response from that. But when we don't, we do send out the certified letters, which clearly specifies what the violation is, and then it gives them a time frame to get into compliance. And that time frame can vary as little as 36 hours. For instance, when we tag a vehicle, it could go up to 30 days. And then if it proceeds in the compliance steps, it could, if it has to go to a hearing, it could be months.
There's been no action taken on this place. There seems to be abandoned furniture, clothes, everything sort of just sitting in there, So we'll probably take this one to a hearing and possibly a demolition hearing. So we're going to go from there with it.
Good morning, everybody. This is the BAA, or Bureau of Administrative Adjudication Hearings.
We have a process we call the Bureau of Administrative Adjudication, the BAA for short. We will send out a hearing notice to that individual stating basically, we've sent you a notice, you haven't responded, you haven't got the property into compliance, restate what the violations are, and then give them a hearing date. And basically we bring those cases to the hearing officer. The hearing officer hears the case on our part, what we found, and he also gives the citizen or the owner the opportunity to state their case. He makes a decision at that point as to compliance action. It could be a fine, it could be a combination of a fine and an order. An order could be anywhere from a standing order for the parish to go in and clean up a property, cut the grass, pick up debris, junk and debris that might be on the property, or as far as a demolition. We prefer not to demolish, but in some instances we have to. We've been averaging probably 10 to 12 demolitions of blighted properties on an annual basis for the last 4 or 5 years.
And this is one of the older signs in the parish that's been actually dilapidated like this since Katrina. You can see it's really it's in bad shape. They've been cited and given, I think, 20 days or 30 days to do something with it to get it, back into commerce or take it down. They have the option.
Currently, there's two compliance areas that we're focused on. One is commercial compliance, and that deals with looking at our local corridors and our commercial businesses and focusing right now on abandoned and derelict signage. And another area that we're focused on is short-term rentals. Those short-term rentals that are being offered in residential neighborhoods are not permitted by ordinance. So we're focusing on those. Without these compliance efforts, you can imagine what things would look like at some point if you have commercial properties, residential properties that are not cutting the grass and are not maintaining their buildings. It's unfortunate, but sometimes we have to push people forward to make them do the right thing. And sometimes they don't, so that's where we come in. And again, it's all about trying to create a good atmosphere and a good face for St. Bernard. See if we can remove the blight from the community. The goal of our department is to improve the quality of life for our residents and for our businesses and for our visitors, so that when they come to St. Bernard, they can say, this parish looks nice. It's a place I think I would like to live.